Hello everyone, again, this is Bryon Lape, also known as Brain Muffin. So I know I did a video not too long ago about no more Star Wars content, and I had a couple of people call me out on it because I've covered some articles. Well, that's kind of some of the original Star Wars content that I used to do and stuff like that, and used to make fun of the movies. It just became no fun. But these goofy articles keep coming up. Now, this is a rumor that I've heard more than once. I actually heard it for possibly happening in episode 8. I've heard it for some background. So this is interesting. And unfortunately, because this large image here, hopefully we get this a right aspect ratio for recording. But this is from cinemablend.com. New Star Wars Episode 9 rumor claims Luke Skywalker will be ridiculously powerful. And I'm wondering if if this is true, this is being done to really turn Luke into a Mary Sue retroactively. Because was our biggest complaint about Rey. So let's look at the article. When we left off with Luke Skywalker in Star Wars The Last Jedi, he forced projected himself from Jakku all the way to Crate to distract Kylo Ren. Now, how he knew to go to Crate, I don't know. And that's a thing, we don't know. Maybe he's keeping track. It doesn't matter. Let's just keep going. So the Resistance survivors could escape, and obviously he can say goodbye to his sister and fool her into thinking he was really there. And he wasn't, and he faded into the Force while looking out to his twin sunset. Of course, we had no clue that that was a twin sunset. Now, what was kind of dumb having that water planet like that and a twin sunset, part of what made Tatooine so dry was its twin sun. So how, anyway, again, Rian Johnson didn't have internal consistency in his own movie because the whole thing was to subjugate your expectations, scene to scene. And we've talked about that before. However, he hasn't finished yet. He's among the many major players returning for Episode 9, and new rumors claims he will be in the movie and he'll be demonstrating enough power to bring down a Star Destroyer. And I know I've seen some videos on this several years ago, I believe. I mean, I don't know. I'm into the age now that a lot of these things just kind of blend together, where he was going by and, using his lightsaber to destroy, kind of like what he did with the Walker in Empire Strikes Back, but I'm like, how can he get the lightsaber that deep into a Star Destroyer? He's just kind of cutting the outside skin. I mean, even with the Walker, he threw an explosive in there, and that's what brought it down, not him just cutting open a place with his lightsaber. And because it really wasn't a hatch. Maybe it was supposed to be. I don't know. I mean, anyway. Take this information with a grain of salt, but Express is reporting that there is a scene in Episode 9 involving a big battle over a sandy planet where multiple Star Destroyers are in the sky and TIE fighters are shooting down X-Wings. Oh my God, we've seen this before. And then a black cloaked figure appears in a rear shot, and reaches out an arm, and with a mechanical hand, Skywalker anyone, spreading on his mechanical fingers, forces clean out the Force and causes Star Destroyers to sink to the ground, resulting in a big shockwave and sand flying everywhere. Now, this would be interesting if it was a flashback to the battle that, because remember in Jakku in Episode 7, we saw those down Star Destroyers and all that kind of stuff. So that would be interesting if it was kind of a flashback like that to that battle, and then, maybe it surprises Luke. Who knows? At this point, I'm so fed up with Disney Wars that I don't really care what they do, and nothing will surprise me. So now, at first you might think that this is Force Ghost Luke showing off ridiculously powerful beyond the grave. After all, we had the Force Ghost lightning and all that other nonsense. So, in the material world, however, thanks to The Force Awakens Last Jedi, flashbacks are now fair game again. So, because I hadn't read this article in full, so I don't want people to think I was foreshadowing here. I did, but not on purpose. In the book Journey to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, The Legends of Luke Skywalker is part of official Disney canon. One of the short stories takes place over a year after Return of the Jedi raised on Jakku. So here we go. One of the gunners aboard Imperial Star calls seeing a hologram of Luke reaching out. And shortly after the ship crashes, okay, so that's interesting. And that Rey frequently scavenged was brought down by Luke nearly 3 decades earlier. That's an interesting flashback and an interesting point there. Again, if this is in there to kind of retroactively, to me, this is trying to retroactively make Luke a Mary Sue, that he was way overpowered, and so stop harping on Rey being a Mary Sue, you male haters. Again, this report is by no means official, so perhaps the scene won't appear in, but anyway. There's been reports of shaved his beard for certain Episode 9 scenes. So if there's a throw in some of that additional de-aging, we could possibly see Luke play a younger version of Hamill play a younger version of Luke. On the other hand, perhaps Force Ghost Luke appears. Who knows? And I don't really, I don't know if I care. But these articles like this is what these are written, I'm convinced, just to get people to click so that we can get ads like this BS. And, I don't know what this is, but these are just all stupid ads and blah, 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 blah. I'm glad I have an ad blocker. So let's see. We do have one comment. I really wanted TLJ to be a good movie, but I'm simply not sure that they can restore the Star Wars feel. I mean, in one movie, they managed to destroy Luke's character. Rey is the most powerful for no reason. Snoke was just removed, negating all mystery buildup in TFA. That's true. Oh, and the light speed is a weapon. No point in ever building a big spaceship when a small... Yeah, so... Yeah, again, TLJ just... It was meant... I know there's a lot of artsy-fartsy people who think that TLJ was this great and fantastic movie and was very full of nuance and garbage like that, but it's like modern art. This is the same garbage. Go look at some modern art, and you'll find articles about someone leaves a can or a bag of chips on a table somewhere, and people think it's an art display, and it's really trash. Someone just couldn't find the trash can, or sometimes the trash can is the art. It's just stupid stuff. And that's how we get The Last Jedi. It is modern art in Star Wars. Every scene is inconsistent with the next. All your expectations are going to be set up, and you go, oh, I know what's going to happen. And no, you're wrong. And that's what the whole movie's about. And, of course, the anti-capitalism thing with the Canto Bight, warmongering and all that other stuff. So, anyway, this is an interesting article. This is something so this is a little bit different than what I've heard before. And I wouldn't mind it fully if they really hadn't destroyed the characters from the original series. And to have Luke, I mean, he was supposed to be one of the most powerful Jedi ever, at least according to Lucas. And so something like this wouldn't necessarily be out of the realm of impossibility, but it would be something that would, really tire him. But it doesn't then follow, if they have a flashback like this, it makes it inconsistent, even with The Force Awakens, where we see, Luke... the fires of his Jedi training facility and his school, and the Knights of Ren. He's not aware it happens, and kind of gets taken by surprise, and then runs off and hides. So that kind of thing wouldn't fit. Now, if we had a scene like this and that scared Luke, and he went into seclusion to make sure he had full control of his powers or something like that, then I could buy this. But then what do you do with his Jedi school and his nephew turning against him, and he gets scared of what he sees in his nephew and all that other nonsense we have in The Last Jedi. And Mark Hamill's right. The Luke, the Skywalker we have, the Luke, that's not Luke, that's Jack Skywalker, or Jake, or whatever you want to call him, and he's not real. But anyway, I found this article pretty tantamount. It's amazing. So let's click on, let's see if this thing really quickly actually brings up anything. If this is a link to the actual article. This is coming out of the UK. Displays unbelievable power and destroy an entire ship. Oh, good grease. Nope. I think this is see, and this is what I've noticed is I've come across these a couple on, it's been expressed, I think, too, where they'll put stuff in here from, Ian McDermott here, and it's just really just a clickbait in many ways, but hologram appears to reach out his hand across. Yeah. So, that's just, maybe I did read this. I don't know. But I don't think I recorded anything on. Let's see what comments the original article has. 1, all J.J. Abrams has to do is tell a story that he feels that is right. He should never try to please Greeks and Trojans because he would never be successful. But you got to stay consistent with the universe. Tell a good story, yes. Do what you want, yes, but stay consistent with the rules of the universe, and maybe you'll get some fans. Maybe people won't say, you know what? It's kind of like me with the prequels. They were still somewhat consistent, but I was like, they're okay. They're just not for me, and we wouldn't get all this hatred. But yeah, anyway, I do really think this is just an article to drum up support, sell ads, and these leaks are kind of coming fast and furious, and you can put that leaks in air quotes if you want, because I think some of it is just people just writing stuff, and some of it's just leaks coming out of Lucasfilm to keep interest in the film going, and because no one really cares. I mean, the vast majority of his fans are checked out. Solo shows that, and if they don't hit it out of the park, this could be, it could be another quasi loss, and we'll see. All right, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye.